Boss demands fauxductivity. My current job is a simple one and nice as it is WFH. Receive work to file digitally. Upload said documents. Repeat. The expected productivity according to my boss is laughably easy achievable by myself. However, others on my team seem to only be able to complete what is expected. Keeping things vague. My competent is large and I'd prefer to vent safely. Anyways, every day I achieve above average uploads. Like I said, it's super easy for me. I don't do too much over the top and generally can complete my whole workload accurately, within a max of 4 hours every day. This leaves a lot of time to myself. I always stay by my computer, however, in case my boss or a coworker needs help with other things. Just this past week, however, I have been reprimanded for productivity issues. Basically being told I need to be doing something at all times and that the time gaps in no work is unacceptable. This comes after having worked in this fashion for the last 10 months, by the way. So, my boss demands that when I am clocked in, my upload records must always show that I have recently done something, and that there cannot be a gap in uploads longer than 10 minutes unless I'm clocked out. Basically demanding I do more work for the same amount of pay. Well, my solution is to set a timer that goes off on my phone every 3.5 minutes telling me to complete one upload. So now I do the exact same amount of work over the course of 8 hours instead of 4. Don't want to pay me more for doing 3x as much work as others? I'm not putting the effort in then. It's silly to think I would. Peas. Sorry if this is slightly ranty or incoherent. I'm tired as hell and pretty upset at being reprimanded for being efficient. You can probably rig up a scheduler to upload your files for you. Do the work in 4 hours and set it up to load one file every 3 minutes plus a few random seconds for the next 4 hours. Generally, when you start a job and come to find that your coworkers are underperforming to what you can easily do, there's a reason for that. You've found out now, just as those coworkers had found out before. Malicious compliance from staff has always been spurred by clueless or hostile management. In my experience, I can guarantee you that I will use the term fauxductivity in the future. Real MC would be to only upload every 9.5 minutes. Make it obvious that doing it your boss's way leads to lower productivity. It reminds me of the policy that was put in place where I worked. All defects must have a blame person assigned. End result. Nobody created defects after that. Things were just magically fixed. In case you think that is a good outcome. Fixing bugs without any defect meant no one knew about the code change. And no tests other than developer tests are performed. So the real end result is lower quality. The exact opposite of the desired outcome. But defects are way down. Boss. I had a job like that. It was about a decade ago. I met my quota of data entry forms around lunch. I spent the rest of the day reading. I didn't feel guilty about it because there were people I worked with that did literally 35 forms a day instead of the 40 that were expected. I figured if there was a crackdown, they'd get fired first. Honestly, it was pretty demoralizing that the slackers were there for 3 years before they quit for other reasons. Why was I bothering to do 40? I could get paid the same to say 20 or 15. This is why work to rule is becoming more and more popular amongst the younger generations who have leveraged social media to act as the child in the emperor's new clothing story and pointed out how working hard in modern society rewards you with more work for the same rate of pay. Do not allow the media to rebrand this form of labor strike as quiet quitting, as if you the worker are not holding up your end of the bargain by refusing to do more work than you are Compensated for. This reminds me of the Reddit story where the programmer got a salary of X, found an overseas person to do the job for much less, paid the overseas programmer to do it, and then forwarded the work which he automated and collected the difference in salary. Dude got away with it for years. Others on my team seem to be only able to complete what is expected. Maybe they just had the same conversation with your boss some time ago and came to the same conclusion you did. Maybe the boss is single-handedly demotivating the entire workforce, rolling on the floor laughing. I have had a similar problem in my last job, but they weren't able to track what I was doing. Only when was the last time my mouse cursor got moved. If I did nothing for more than 15 minutes, my online status was changed to offline and all my colleagues were able to see it. It was incredibly annoying as I always finished my tasks early, and I also continuously asked my colleagues if they needed help with something. I wasn't lazy at all, just very efficient. And if I had worked more, my colleagues would probably have received a bigger workload from our boss as well. We previously had been seriously understaffed, and me and my colleagues had been working overtime a lot. I didn't find a perfect solution for this, but I sometimes set my mouse on top of my robot vacuum, created an obstacle course, and the jerking motions were often enough to make my cursor move. I felt bad enough about this already, so I actually never researched any more professional and effective solutions. How has it taken me this long to see the word fauxductivity? I once got reprimanded for being too efficient. The assignment I needed to work on was monthly and very important and had a deadline. My coworker complained to my boss that I couldn't possibly be doing the work right at my speed. I was told to slow down. So I took the work I was supposed to do and divided it up by the amount of days that it needed to be done, and stopped working on the stuff when I reached my daily quota and worked on other things that needed to be done. My coworker then complained that I was working too slow. When my supervisor pulled me aside, I told her I had done exactly as she had asked, and they needed to make up their minds. I did something similar, and then they increased the daily quota for everyone. I then realized everyone was going slower on purpose. I would still work quickly but leave the extra work done Mondays through Thursdays to log on Fridays. Fridays were nice for me because I went slower and still showed that I had done a full day's work. Manager should have just kept his mouth shut. Now he's delaying the processing times by when they're formally uploaded. He's just out there standing in his own way. Maybe you are really being reprimanded for making your coworkers look bad. This can be solved in about 50 lines of code. I'd look into automating it. You can literally do whatever you want with your day and have a computer do it. When automating, be careful to not be to perfect. A dead giveaway. Your coworkers have been doing your solution this whole time. They're not actually slower. They just got chewed out before you did, lol. As a programmer, I would 100% automate this, lol. A competent boss would have you demonstrate your techniques for doing this quickly for the rest of the team, and have the team adopt your process as their standard operating procedure. The smart boss would then move you to other areas to see if you can find the sort of time savings in those existing processes that you found in this one, and look to promote you or at least increase your compensation for this. Insisting on doing the work this way just leads to what you did, which isn't good for the company, and frankly, isn't good for your career either. Overproducers can't leave their jobs either. No promotions or transfers for them.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.